Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd have a quick look at this. I was on eBay a few weeks back looking at various like consoles and bits and bats. I was actually looking at them little handheld, you know, like 30 and 100 in one Game Boy and Game Boy Advance kind of looking things. Got a load of NES games on them. And as I was scrolling down, I spotted this, and the only reason I bought it was because of the price. This cost under £3, and what we've got just arrived. It arrived today from China. Another packet. That's, I think it was £2.95 including postage. And let's get in there. What we've got is basically, it's a tiny little multi, don't know how many, oh I think he's actually broken this one. That button there's jammed down. Literally this is just exactly as it's come. I mean, this is really cheap and nasty, but I thought, I was just wondering what we could do with it. I just literally bought it to take apart and have a bit of a look at. And straight away, I mean, it is really is cheap, nasty quality, this thing. It's like as cheap as they come. It's like meant to go on a keyring or something, almost. Standard mono AV for the video on it. And I think it takes one, even screws missing out of it there. I think it takes one AA battery by the look of it. Let's have a look. One AAA battery it needs. I think I've got some of them. Sure, I spotted some AAAs in here. Just bear with me a second. I was sure I had some AAAs up there. Just bear with me here, folks. I'm just actually going to have to just pause the video and go and get a battery. So back in a sec. Well, I'm back. That was a chore. Fortunately, I did manage to find a AAA battery. But I'm wondering if we actually crack into this thing before we try it. That's that Dave Jones thing. Don't turn it on, take it apart, because we've got a stuck button there. So even if we do power this thing up, it's not going to play, is it, with that stuck? So yeah, let's crack into this thing. It's a horribly cheap plasticky thing, but for £3. I don't know how many games it's meant to have on. I've got the instructions here. Supported TV system NTSC. Oh, well, this is sold sold for the UK market, but we'll see. It's got a built-in flashlight apparently. Built-in laser lamps. Supported TV system NTSC. AV cable included. Super. It doesn't tell you how many games though, although it's called a pad-80. So has it got 80 games on it? I really don't know. It's got reset, on power, AB. I wonder if T's torch. Is that even? I don't even know if that's meant to be a button or not now. No, it's not. So it's me being stupid. That isn't even meant to be a button. So let's fire it up first then, and then we'll take it apart. It looks like it's a button that's jammed down, that, but no. If you look on the actual colour instruction manual, it's flat down on that as well. So obviously not. Anyway, let's see what it does when we power it up. A revoltingly cheap and nasty AV cable that comes with it. We'll get it connected up to the. We'll get it connected up to the TV. Well, that's that one. I'll have some audio as well. Right, there we go. We can get you up on there. Oops, there we go. Power that up. A bit of batteries in this have gone bad now. Come on, switch on. Yeah. Come on. Right, let's put a battery in this. If that's the torch, it's not doing very much. Just switch it on and then you can use the torch function. Not well. We'll see. Right, AV2, I think that's what we're set to. So let's plug it in. We'll switch on and see if it does anything. No. I'm pretty sure that's a good battery. Well, I know that's a good battery because I've just tested it on my meter and it's showing about 1.4 volts. So it's not brand new, but it certainly should be good enough. Let's try one of these. These are good as well. Let's try one of these just in case. That's a bit of a tight fit in there actually. I don't like the way that one fits. No, them Samsungs don't seem to want to fit very well actually. That seems to fit. It's not a very good fit, I must admit. I wonder if I just try just stretching. Like it's almost as though that the battery holder, the battery case, is actually too long for a AAA. Let me just see if I can slightly stretch that spring. That feels better. But even so, that doesn't feel like it's making a very good contact on that side there. Let's try switching on. Just see if we can get a... We're not getting anything on the screen there. Can we get the button to do anything? I'm pressing the button that says T, which I presume would be for torch, and that doesn't seem to be getting it to light up. I think that is just about making contact. Just make sure we're on the right channel. Hold on, which one is it? I usually use them. In fact, let's put them Samsung batteries in this remote. I think the batteries in this remote are bad. In fact, yeah, they've started to leak. Yeah, don't buy cheap cheap batteries. It's yeah, definitely don't. They've left a bit of tarnish on the contacts in there. Let's try that. Right. No. Oh, my remote control stopped working. That's a pain. AV1. Just in case it's on AV1, not AV2. Well, I heard it. Let's try that again. Oh, I think that's just that banging against there. I thought I heard a pop from the TV, but obviously not. No, so it does seem completely dead, unfortunately. Try reset. Good job it only cost, you know, under £3 really, isn't it? That's a bit of a bugger. So it doesn't work. No. Make sure it isn't on AV2. No, I think it is AV2, the output on the side, and AV1's the SCART on the bottom, but no, I'm getting absolutely nothing out of that at all. Oh well, never mind, let's take it apart, shall we? At least we have a look what's inside it. Let's get you in there. Let's take the battery out. I mean, I was never intending to use this as what it is anyway. I kind of had the idea that possibly I could integrate the insides of this into a vintage joystick, depending on what the games and what have you are on it. But if we can't actually get the thing to power up, then obviously we can't see what games are on it, we can't see where to take it from. I was also expecting it to probably use like a USB lead or something to power it. I weren't expecting it to use a 1.5 volt battery. But is that all the screws out? Last one. There we go. Let's see if we can get inside it and have a look. It's going to be a Nintendo on a chip type thing, I think. Oh, that's weird. Presume that's the... Oh, is that the controller then? Right. Well, this is interesting. That's a bit more analogy than I was expecting it to be. I was just expecting it to be a really simple digital control, but that looks a bit more fancy than I thought it would. You got... I'll get the board down and we can have a bit of a better look at it. Well, let's get the board out and we can have a shufty. In fact, we can try powering it up with the board out, see if we can actually get it to respond to anything. We've got some, what I presume is probably some flash RAM there. Very little else, especially on this side. I presume there's going to be a chip under a glob type affair on the other side. We'll see, which will be basically the Nintendo on a chip. I'm presuming that's how it's going to work. Anyway, let's get the thing out. Come on, out you come. What's holding it now? There's something holding it in place. I don't want to be too forceful with it because I would sort of like to do something with it. I'm not really bothered about this case though because it's horrible. I think we have to pop that off from that side. There we go. Yeah, exactly as I was thinking. We've got a like basically a glob there. That's probably, like I say, that'll be like a Nintendo on a chip type affair. And then we've got a very poorly fitted, and I do mean very. It's like really badly out of alignment. So probably not too bad. That's the type of thing you'd see like on as a thumbstick on a controller, like on a modern, you know, like PlayStation 3, 4 controller, or Xbox or what have you. It's like a thumbstick controller that's obviously been reutilised. I don't know how good or bad that will be actually. It mightn't be too bad. Yeah, it really is that simple. I mean, we've got right, left, up and... Oh, this could be very easily hacked. It's even marked up. We've got a ground point right and left, so that's our right and left there. And we've got a ground point up and down, so that's our up and down there. So we could do away with that. We could solder to them. We could, if we can get this to work, we could definitely possibly implement it in a joystick or something. It's definitely small enough. We'll have to do something about power for it to get it some power. But yeah, this is quite interesting. Let's get this off, have a look under here. Again, it'd be fairly easy to hack the circuit and then solder some wires on here and take whichever of these buttons we actually need and break them out to some separate switches. I'm certainly going to do something with it. If again we can actually get it to power up and do anything, I will do something with this. It is quite a cool little board, really. Try and get you in shot. Try there we are. There we are. That's better. let's have a final go at seeing if we can get it to at least do something. Let's just make sure we've got it the right way around so we know. Right, that's switched on at the moment, according to that. We'll put that back in place, I think. Reset, power on, yeah. So that's switched on at the moment. Let's try. Let's just try plugging the board in. At least we can hold the battery. In fact, we can try one of them with the Samsungs as well, because I think they're a newer battery. I think that Duracell's ancient, but it's still showing. So it's still showing about 1.4 volts, so it should be okay. But I'll get one of them Panasonics because I think they're only a year old. Get you back up on the. Oops, there we go. Get you back up on the screen, and we'll just see if we can get it to do anything. If I connect the battery up and actually hold it in position. If not, I'll complain to them and see how I can get my money back. No, literally, I think it seems to be completely dead. So I've got a battery there. I've connected it right onto the. It's a bit fiddly to show you actually, but I'm holding the battery onto its contacts like that, so it's definitely making good contact. We'll try switching the switch. Just hit the reset. No, it is completely it's completely dead. That's a shame. So I think I'll be complaining to the eBay vendor. Just make sure I am. I'm convinced it's AV2 is the connection on the side and AV1's the SCART underneath. But just to be on the safe side, we'll try it on the other one. Oops. Just try the other battery. I know these batteries are alright. So they're not brand new, but they're showing a good voltage. No. No, dead as a doornail. That's a shame. I mean, I won't give up. I won't give up on. Well, I suppose what I'll do is I haven't broken anything. I'll reassemble this thing and I'll contact the eBay seller and say it don't work, and see if I can get them to send me a replacement. See if we can get it all back together. That's a bit of a shame though, really, because looking at it, it is very hackable. You know, I can definitely see how we can do some do a bit of hackery with this and turn it into something a bit better. I don't know which way to go actually. Well, there's I've got a couple of ideas for this really. I could either build my own arcade stick, get some arcade switches, and make a nice cabinet for it and build it into like its own little arcade stick. Or I could, how does that go back in? That's the only problem. I've got to figure out how to put all this stuff back in. I wonder if I'm doing it the wrong way. So I could either, like I said, actually scratch build a little arcade stick exactly to my specification, like, and put this in it. Or I could have a look on eBay and find an old vintage stick, something, possibly something like that Sega stick that I modified for USB in a video a while back. Something like that, or like the there was one for the Nintendo for the original NES, weren't there? Like a proper flight stick like that, where it controlled the commander. I can't remember what it was called. I was never really into Nintendos when I was a kid. But I remember a mate of mine that had a Nintendo. He had one, and it was like a big stick like that sat on the thing. It had all the standard Nintendo buttons on, and a proper arcade style stick. I mean, if I could get, I suppose stuff like that's getting a bit collectible now, isn't it? I don't suppose they turn up all that often. And I don't know whether I'd get a bit of grief off some of the aficionados if I was to hack one up to fit something like this inside it. But something like that would be a really cool thing to... Oh yes, so I've put all that in, I've got it all lined up, and I've left all the buttons I need to put in behind it. Oh dear me. Let's try and put it back together. So I'll probably end up just complaining to the vendor on this one. It's I might have a play with it myself, and I'm saying that it's finding time at the moment. I'm ridiculously strapped for time for any long-term playing things. I only did this because I could just set it up on the bench on the desk in the office and have a quick play with it. I haven't really got anything down here I could start diagnosing faults on it with. That's all back to oops, that's all back together, I think. Let's put some of them screws back in. But it's a real shame that we can't actually see this thing play today. Because I was interested to see exactly what games it's got on it, but I don't think it even mentioned that in the listing. It just mentioned, you know, multiple games. And I'm sure, you know, there'll be Mario and all the stuff they're not meant to have on these things will be on it. I believe Nintendo are getting a little bit more stringent with these companies that make these knockoffs with their RIP ROMs on them. I don't think they're they used to basically turn a bit of a blind eye to it. I don't think they used to really bother all that much, but I think recently they've been getting a lot more proactive on it. So oh, you little bugger! Screwed it all in and I've let... How have I done that? Absolute pain. Absolute pain, that. Let's take them all back out again. I don't really know... Well, I might as well show you me reassembling this thing. But unfortunately we're not going to have it working, which is an absolute shame. But which button goes where? No, that's the button for there, isn't it? That one goes in that hole there. That's the reset button. Put that back in. So we're having that little torch thing on it. Is the whole idea of this? It's like goes on your keyring, and then when you go around to your mate's house, you can, I don't know, pull out your AV cable, hijack the TV, and start playing some Mario or something. I just don't know why anyone would put a video game console on the keyring. I mean, that's really what it seems to be. I mean, I know it doesn't have a actual keyring holder on it, but it's got a place to attach one. It's got a little flashlight. It's got a little torch on it, a little LED torch there. So, yeah, it's a device that someone's created which really doesn't have a proper audience or a proper purpose in life. I mean, who wants a tiny miniature console on the keychain that they then have to connect up to someone's TV and hope that their TV's got an old composite AV input? That's all that in the back there, all back together. Let's try and put the really cheaply moulded white cases, and then they've just had them really cheaply anodised. It is like a metallic finish, that it is an anodised finish, but it's like the cheapest anodising I've seen. Especially done on that white, it gives it an almost kind of like toffee apple effect, which is a paint effect that you see a lot of some classic cars and custom cars done in it. It does have that kind of slightly see-through to another colour look about it. One more screw, that one there. And the screw, I presume it should have a screw for the battery holder on the back. There's certainly a place for a screw hole there, but it doesn't actually have, there wasn't a screw in it. Put the little button back on. So yeah, it's all gone back together. It's just a damn shame it doesn't actually work. Go on, one last try. I'm sure that taking it all apart and putting it all back together has really done a lot of good to it. One last try. But I think we've just got a dead end. Yeah, it's all gone back together. It looks exactly as it did when I took it out of the packet. So I'll plug it back in, switch on, and again, no, it's dead. That's a real shame. But I will endeavour to contact the seller of this thing and see if I can get a refund or a replacement. I'd rather have a replacement actually, and we can have another look at it in the future when I get another one of them. So I'm sorry we didn't get to actually see it play, but at least you got to see what's inside one of these little £3. Don't know how much, probably 80 in one or whatever it is. So I'll leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed that little video. So thanks for watching and goodbye.